Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today we're going to go over the vocabulary pictures and words for the story The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. It is found in our first grade Journeys textbook, lesson 26. We're going to do our modified turn and talk routine where I ask a question and you think. Then you pair up with a partner at home or with me, and then you share out your thinking in a complete sentence using the sentence stems I've given you. So for every lesson, we're going to have a learning target, and the learning target is I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the story, The Dot. So read it with me. I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the story, The Dot. Our other learning target is I can have a conversation with a partner about the vocabulary words and pictures. So, success criteria. How will you be successful at using pictures and context clues to help you understand words from the story? This is our roadmap. With my partner, or I will, look closely at each pair of pictures. I will say what you notice or see. How are the pictures the same or similar? That's where you turn and talk. I will read each word and its definition. So, turn and talk rules. If you have a partner at home, make sure you're eye to eye. And if you're sitting on the carpet, knee to knee, or just facing each other. 2, first one person talks, the other person listens. So when I'm talking, you are listening. When your partner's talking, you are listening. Then you switch. Then the next person talks and the other person listens. So I want you to share your thinking out loud. And 4, do not talk too long on your turn, or your partner will not have enough time to have a turn. Every group of pictures, I'm going to say, what do you notice or see? And then I'm going to say, I notice. And I want you to repeat that phrase, I notice, and then finish your thought. And then I'm going to ask you, how are they both the same? How are the pictures the same? And you're going to say, they both. And you're going to finish your thought. Also, if you have a partner at home, you can tell them that you agree with them by saying, I agree with you because, and finish, or whether you disagree with them, I disagree with you because, and finish your thought. So here's our first group or pair of pictures. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. And how are they both the same? They both. So boys and girls, I noticed that it looks like a teacher teaching. And again, this looks like a teacher teaching. So they both have pictures with teachers teaching. So let's see what the word is. The word is teacher. A teacher is someone who shows other people how to do something. Teacher. The art teacher shows how to use a brush. How do I use it? Miss Carter is my teacher this year. Who was your teacher in kindergarten? Okay, here's our next pair of pictures. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. So I noticed that Snoopy the dog is looking for something. And I noticed that this man is looking closely or noticing something. So how are they both the same or similar? They both. So I would say they both have people or animals noticing something or looking closely. So let's see what the word is. Studied. So the word is studied. A person who studied something looked at it carefully. Studied. She studied the flower before she drew it. So they're looking closely. How do I use it? Lucy studied all of the chocolates in the box before choosing one. Have you ever studied the clouds in the sky? Or have you ever looked closely at the clouds in the sky? Number 3, what do you notice or see? So I notice or I see. So I noticed that SpongeBob looked shocked or surprised, or maybe scared, I'm not sure. And I noticed that these children also look shocked or surprised. So, how are these pictures the same or similar? They both look shocked or surprised. So, let's see what the word is. Surprised. A person who is surprised did not expect something to happen. Surprised. He was surprised to see such a big statue. How do I use it? I was surprised to see Emily at the party. Do you like to feel surprised? Next group of pictures. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. So I notice that a ball is going toward the box. I notice that this mouse is running to the cheese. So how are these pictures the same or similar? They both are going towards something or running to them. So the word is toward. Going toward something means going closer to it. Toward. He walked slowly toward the art table. How do I use it? Billy walked toward the ocean. When have you run toward something? So instead of saying toward, I could say Billy walked to the ocean. When have you run to something or closer to it? Because that's what toward means. Next group of pictures. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, I notice a polar bear here and I notice a black bear here. So how are these pictures the same or similar? They both are bears. So let's see. Bear. A bear is a large animal with a shaggy coat, a very short tail, and sharp claws. Bear. The picture of the bear looks very real. How do I use it? We saw a bear at the zoo. Which kind of bear is your favorite and why? So if you did notice, this is a polar bear, this is a black bear. So what's your favorite type of bear? Next pair of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, I notice that this basketball is above the box, and I notice that this mom is holding her baby above her head. So, how are these pictures both the same or similar? Like I said, they both show something that's up above or over, up above or over. So, let's see what the word is. Above. Above means over. These shapes hang high above the floor, above or over. How do I use it? There's a row of pictures above or over the fireplace. What is above or over your bed? Next pair of pictures. What do you notice or see? So I notice or I see. So I noticed that this girl is surprised by a jack in the box popping out of the book. So she probably wasn't expecting that. I noticed, oh, I noticed that a penguin and a pig are flying, and both of those things are impossible. So how are these pictures the same or similar? Why do you think I chose these two pictures? They both so they both show something that's not normal or not expected. So let's see what the word is. Even, even. Even is a word that you use to show that something is surprising. Even. So this girl is surprised, and it would be surprising to see a pig fly and a penguin fly because they can't. So even is a word that you use to show that something is surprising. You are surprised by it. So this box has even more crayons in it. So they're pointing to this big box. This box has even more crayons in it. How do I use it? At the shoe store, we saw all kinds of sneakers, even striped ones. Tonight, we saw even more stars than we saw last night. So if you were to go to a store, you would expect to see shoes, but surprisingly, you saw striped ones. And then when you look up in the sky, you expect to see stars. But surprisingly, the next night you saw even more stars. So if you use the word even, it might be it's surprising. Last pair of pictures. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, I notice that this person is pushing something, and I notice that these people are pushing something. So, how are they both the same or similar? They both, well, like I said, they both show pushing or showing force. So, the word is pushed. The root word is push and ed, pushed. Pushed means to have moved something forward or away from you. So this person pushed the box, and these people pushed the door. How do I use it? We pushed the couch back to get the toy under it. Have you ever pushed a shopping cart? Oh, and I forgot. I'm sorry, I don't have it. Looks like the down here at the bottom, I should have had the sentence the boy pushed the Play Doh to form an animal. So let's reflect. Our learning target. I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the story The Dot. So, how do you think you did when we were going over those pictures? 4. I could teach this lesson. I easily said how each pair of pictures were the same. 3. I was able to say how most pictures were the same. 2. I was able to say how some of the picture pairs were the same. Or 1. I was not able to say how any of the picture pairs were the same. So again, our goal, boys and girls, is to get a 3 or a 4. If you didn't, that's okay. Or just try to get it next time. All right, thank you. And before we go, we're going to review the vocabulary pictures and words. The word is teacher. A teacher is someone who shows other people how to do something. Number 2, studied. A person who studied something looked at it carefully. Number 3, surprised. A person who is surprised did not expect something to happen. Number 4, toward. Going toward something means going closer to it. Toward. Number 5, bear. A bear is a very large animal with a shaggy coat, a very short tail, and sharp claws. Number 6, above. Above means over. Number 7, even. Even is a word that you use to show that something is surprising, even. And number 8, pushed. Pushed means to have something moved. Sorry, I have to read it again. Pushed means to have moved something forward or away from you. Pushed. So thank you, boys and girls, for going over the pictures with me. Have a great day.